Question. Over the last few weeks, I have been contemplating the idea of giving up all animal products due to obvious reasons. From that, the main questions have become two questions. One, is it possible to satisfy the Lord by offering milk and ghee from cows that have been exploited? Question two, how do I justify eating the temple prasadam that has been prepared with these products? To address the question one, namely, is it possible to satisfy Krishna by offering milk and ghee, in other words, milk products from cows that have been exploited? Number one, Krishna is satisfied not by the thing we offer, but with bhakti with which we offer. So bhakti is the main ingredient. Bhakti is primarily, if not exclusively, the thing that satisfies Krishna. Very important to understand. So Krishna is not satisfied with the things we offer, but with the bhakti, with devotion, love and devotion that we offer. Now, if one has devotion to Krishna, then naturally that devotion is going to extend to all that Krishna encompasses. Krishna encompasses everything, all beings, humans, animals, plants, everything. So it is explained in the bhakti literature that as one's bhakti matures, one's devotion expands, not only expands beyond Krishna and starts to encompass all of Krishna's energies, everything that Krishna includes, all living beings, etc., etc. That's one of the differences between a beginner devotee and an advanced devotee. So as one realization matures, one will come to understand that Krishna is not alone. You cannot separate Krishna from Krishna's energies. This is one aspect of atheism, for example. In his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita 9.27, patram pushpam palamtyam, etc. Srila Prabhupada writes that what one should find out what Krishna wants and what he doesn't want, because having bhakti or making offerings to Krishna with bhakti, with devotion, involves wanting to know what Krishna wants and what Krishna doesn't want. Foods obtained by violent means are not what Krishna wants. They're not pure. I guess I'll mention that too. I was thinking whether, I'll go there. Among some devotees, there is the idea that milk products not only can but should be offered to Krishna, because who and what else and in which ways will these animals that are captured and tortured to their deaths from the beginning of their lives, who and what will benefit them? Unless devotees use their products. I personally think this is a really ludicrous idea, seriously ludicrous idea. My understanding prevents me from agreeing with this. What does this mean? Should we then now begin to use all animal products obtained by violent means, like animal leather? Leather is not by itself considered impure. For example, animals that naturally died, their skin traditionally have always been used for making shoes, instruments, mridanga, etc., etc. But because nowadays these leather products are not obtained by moral means, rather by immoral means, therefore Srila Prabhupada asked of us not to use leather shoes, for example, a thing which is traditionally perfectly normal. Was perfectly normal. Why? Because back then these products were obtained by non-violent means. So because the food that is obtained by violent means, I cannot for the life of me consider pure and offerable to Krishna, and I think ideally should not be offered offered to Krishna. So according to my understanding, we should do our best to offer to Krishna that which is pure. Why do I say the best? Because we can easily get into the position where we're going to criticize those who offer to Krishna items obtained by violent means or impure items. But if you look around, what is pure in this world, in this time that we live in? I remember when I was getting myself a sleeping bag, as I travel a lot, I need a sleeping bag, and I thought I was going to get one with down, you know, the feathers. Down is the bottom section of the feather. But then I found out that most companies obtain these feathers by super violent means, and I was thinking, my God, I don't want to participate in this madness. And I settled, for the moment, I settled for buying a sleeping bag that's filled with artificial fibers, which are obtained from petroleum. But then I ended up reading about how petroleum is obtained and the fracking. Oh my goodness, that's evil as hell. And so I was stuck between two horrible evils, and I didn't know which one to participate. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that it is very difficult to nowadays to obtain almost anything that's absolutely pure. So, but if one does have devotion to Krishna, or if one is trying to be a pure devotee or as pure of a devotee as possible, then one will naturally want to offer to Krishna only that which is pure. Try to offer as pure of a thing as possible. We see in the life of Srila Prabhupada that he often offered things which were impure. Not often. He offered things which were impure, like accepted, for example, sugar, which is contaminated by animal products, which are not obtained by merciful means, etc. So what I'm trying to say is that naturally we ought to function in this world, and within that liberal definition of functioning within this world, we should try to offer as pure as possible to Krishna items. Now question number 2, how do I justify eating temple prasadam that has been prepared with these products, namely products, dairy products, and very often dairy products which are just bought from the store, and these products are typically not obtained by any civilized or compassionate ways. It's a little complex. First, you have to understand that each temple is really a unit to itself, and a group of devotees that operates on different platforms of bhakti, on different for different reasons, do different things. So you have to go from a temple to temple and judge for yourself. But you have to understand that most devotees, I have never visited an ISKCON, Hare Krishna ISKCON temple where devotees were not devotees. Everywhere devotees are, as in my experience, are trying to be good devotees and try to please Krishna with their offerings. Some devotees who offer milk products to Krishna do that for varieties of reasons. Some are just blissfully unaware of what they're doing, and they're simply thinking, I'm trying to please Krishna. And I personally would respect that as prasadam, as something that Krishna has offered. Then you have other devotees who have their own interpretations of the matter, and if you were a civilized, fine person, you would hear those reasons and seriously try to understand them. You also have to understand that most temples operate on some traditional values and ways and means, which are rooted, based in agrarian culture, dairy consuming culture, dating from way back when people were obtaining their dairy products by civilized, compassionate ways, suitable to a civilized Hare Krishna devotee. So, because temples operate on those principles, on those cultures, they have the pressure of maintaining these standards. Like if you look at the manual as to what you should offer daily to Krishna, there's a whole lot of dairy sweets, for example, dairy products that you would offer to satisfy Krishna. But then I know many temples who go really out of their way to find cows that are properly treated and then obtain their milk products from there. So it is really your choice, but I would respectfully ask you to, when you go from temple to temple, to not behave like a Nazi. Sorry for the strong term. To not be belligerent, but you try to understand devotees. And I personally, if devotees have offered dairy items to Krishna, I would accept them as prasadam and would honor him. Or you could, like I know plenty of devotees who live in the temple, who are very mature, who do not accept dairy products even when they go to temples. Why? Because that is their vow, by which they're trying to raise awareness of this rather important problem, and in this way they're again expressing their bhakti to Krishna and to all of Krishna parts and parcels. Okay, those were the few thoughts. I hope this helps a bit. Hare Krishna, all the best.